So I woke up and basically the world had been turned upside down, turned on its head. Um, People were being told to, stay in their house. Um, all of my all of my shows that I had scheduled for the next several months gone, wiped off the calendar. People can't gather in groups of more than 10 people. Um, can't go to church. Um, can't go to restaurants. Can't go out to eat. Can't go to the gym. Um, if you go out, you need to wear a mask, cover your face. I basically spent a good amount of time thinking about how horrible this was for me and how much it affected my life and how terrible this was and what was I gonna do for me. Um, and I probably went at that for a good little while with a little bit of panic. Um, and then some things started to dawn on me. Probably the first clear bell was I'm not the only person that this is affecting. Um, it's affecting everyone in every walk of life. Uh, Everyone is seeing the effects of this and is probably suffering or struggling in one form or fashion. Um, so instead of getting so wrapped up in what am I going to do for me, I started focusing a little bit more on what can I do for someone else. About being there for the people that can't do for themselves. I can still put on a mask and drive to the grocery store. My health isn't so compromised that I can't be around or take the chance of getting the virus, so I can go out and do things that maybe other people can't. I can help to raise money for worthy causes that are either championing against this virus or other causes that continue to go on every day that take lives. So I got out of that headspace a little bit about so much about what it was about me. The other thing that I realized during that time period of complaining was I was complaining about all the things that were either being taken away or that I didn't have. And I realized that I didn't spend any time being grateful for all the things that I do have. I've got a place to live. Myself, my wife, my kids are all healthy. I can go to the grocery store and get food. I do have food to eat. I've got clothes to wear. I have the ability to help other people. I still have the ability to worship wherever I want to. And so I started thinking, man, my level of gratefulness really needs to change. And a very wise person said to me recently, they said, what would you do if tomorrow the only things that you were going to have were the things that you were thankful for God today? And thankful to God for today. And that's a sobering thought of how much I need to be grateful. And the third thing that kind of dawned on me was as I was going through all this turmoil and self-pity, was where my focus was. Because a lot of my focus had to do with right now. Like it had to do with these next few months, these next few weeks, these next few days. It had a lot to do with worldliness. It had to do with my job. It had to do with being able to go to restaurants, whatever it was that I was stressing out about. It all was right here, and I had lost focus on the bigger picture, which is where am I going to spend eternity? And I know that you've probably heard this a number of times, but something that was real comforting to me early on was this was not a surprise to God. God didn't look at on TV and see the Mavericks game getting delayed and go, Oh, what? A virus? That's a surprise. Um, this was all this was all part of the plan. And I can tell you that for me and my family, I'm very thankful that every Sunday, this past Sunday was 8 Sundays in a row, we've gotten together and um, we've said some prayers, we've listened to a lesson or watched a lesson, opened our hearts to God, we've taken communion, we've eaten together, we've discussed things that are not of this world, and continue to try to open our minds to that part of our life. And that has been a huge blessing during this time period. And so the things that I would say to take away from this, and I'm trying to give you this from don't do as I do as I say, is think about those other aspects. Think about how God would want us to be during this time period. This is a time for us to help people that need the help. It's a time for us to be grateful for all the things that we do have, because this will end at some point, and you may go back to the same unsatisfied frame of mind and not keep in mind all the amazing things that God has given us already. So be thankful, and remember, it's the basics. You know, you get by. If this time period didn't show us anything, it showed us that, man, there's some bare minimum that we need to get by, and the central part of that for me and my family is our relationship with God. And so those would be some thoughts that I would share with you. I hope that everyone's healthy and that you're keeping your chin up, because we're going to get through this. Things are already looking better. There's going to be a other side of this. And my prayers are really that when we do get to the other side of this, that our hearts have changed in a positive way. And that maybe we treat each other with a little bit more compassion, and we see things a little bit more for what they are and what they're worth. And just know that my prayers are going out to everybody. God bless.